All right, guys, welcome back to Derezzed on Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. This is the Derezzed podcast. This is the podcast where we talk about gaming news, paranormal news, tech news, whatever kind of interests me that day. That's what we talk about over here. So we are doing this one live on Clownfish TV. And thank you very much. Yeah, we don't do a lot of live streams, but I thought I would go back and start doing these live anyway, so we can talk to people. People keep asking for us to live stream. I need to get a schedule though. That is the big thing. So let me get some music going on here. Hopefully you guys are all doing well tonight. It's been kind of a big day, big weekend. Yeah, I just heard about the president. That's former President Biden. That's unfortunate. That's really kind of a bummer. All right. Hello, testing. Yes, we are live. It's not a ghost stream. Testing the algorithm over here. So YouTube is definitely, they're doing something this month. I am not sure what's going on. I don't think it's good for creators though. I have some theories. I actually have an audio podcast coming talking about what I think is eventually going to happen with YouTube, which is I think they're going to boot creators out of the space completely. I think it's very possible. I think it's very possible that YouTube could just spin up AI generated videos, and that's the end of it. So it's been fun, right? So anyway, we are going to talk about a bunch of things. I got a bunch of gaming news pulled up. I got some tech news pulled up. Lots of stuff. We're going to talk about people who are still using like Windows 2000, I guess. Oh, thank you very much, Loopy Shot. Didn't have to do that. First donation, the honor is mine. Thank you. Did not have to do that. Hello? Yeah, we got people coming in. Testing to see if YouTube is actually sending notifications to people when we do stream. Because the thing I've noticed with YouTube is that you pretty much have to train it. And if you don't stream very often, it does not send notifications to people. So that's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. But let's see what we got here. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if we have 5 people in the room or 500 people in the room. We're going to do our podcast. So thank you very much. Fuchs. So I hope it's Fuchs. Says, isn't Spotify trying the same thing with artists on their platform? Yeah, I'm actually getting ads right now on YouTube that are for another podcast company. I want to say it's Player FM, and they're completely AI generated. Very, very bad animation, very bad script, very bad dialogue. And I swear to God, the entire thing is done with AI, and they're running these ads on YouTube all the time. Yeah, it's like some like superhero sex academy or some stupid like thing, and they've got like little cheesy like webtoon looking animations and stuff that go with it. But that's probably what's going to happen. I'm going to be honest. I think that and I think it's going to happen soon. I think it's going to happen within the next 2 years, that Google will just spin up its own videos. Somebody asks a question, there's an avatar, AI voice, AI script answering your question. There's a video, boom, they get to keep all the ad revenue. That's just a theory on my part, but I think they're testing the waters right now with changes in the algorithm. So it's very important, if you would like to see real people, to go to news.clownfishtv.com and subscribe over there, just in case. We never know what's going to happen. AL is here. Hey. All right, so let's get into it. Usually these run about an hour, and I try to answer some questions and stuff like that. So this is we're going to talk about Bungie. Morale at Bungie is reportedly in free fall over Marathon, according to Inside Gamer. Okay. So let's see what's going on here. A new report has revealed what current employees allegedly think of Bungie's current situation when it comes to Marathon. So for those of you who don't know the situation with Marathon is a Bungie game. It's actually a reimagining or a reboot of the Marathon series from the 90s. It's not going very well for them. And the only thing they had going for them was actually the art style. And then it turned out that they lifted the art from a freelancer and did not give them credit. And they said, oh, it was a rogue, contractor or some employee that we had. And no, I don't believe that for a minute. I don't believe it for a minute. But apparently now Bungie is very sad. Of course they're sad, because I think they're going to get shut down at some point. They've been laying people off. Definitely. So the report comes from Paul Tassi at Forbes. Well, Paul Tassi actually, look, I've been critical of Paul Tassi. He actually would know about Bungie because he's a big Destiny player. So he would actually know about this. But they had a bunch of layoffs. Destiny 2 is not doing very well. It comes following another brutal week for Bungie after an artist named Anti-Real accused Bungie of plagiarizing her art for its upcoming game Marathon. And actually, the art style is pretty good. It looks pretty good. It was an accusation that Bungie soon admitted to, yes, and put the blame on a former employee, with the studio saying they had reached out to the artist to do right by them. Fortunately, Bungie's response didn't do too much in the way of changing the community's sentiment, as people are now questioning Marathon's entire art direction and stating the company, or slating the company for repeatedly ripping assets from artists. This is the fourth or fifth time, I guess, this has happened. It's crazy. According to the new report, employee morale at Bungie is currently in free fall, and the vibes have never been worse. Well, God forbid the vibes are bad. Your company is failing. It's bleeding out money, and your art director is lifting artwork from freelancers on the internet. God forbid the vibes are bad. I think they know the layoffs are coming. I think they know. It's never been worse. Everyone has the same concerns about what happens to Bungie as a studio if Marathon bombs, which is something they absolutely cannot afford. Yeah, this is it. This is kind of the Hail Mary pass for them. This is the last thing I think they have going for them. As for what this all means for the future of the game, it's currently unclear, but according to the report, there's no plan to delay the game from its September release date. They probably can't afford to. Or at the very least, that has not been conveyed to developers, although it could be being discussed higher up. I would just cancel the damn thing at this point. I really would. I think it's a waste of time to do it. So there's some changes made to the Bungie marketing plan. As for what this all means for Bungie Marathon, it's uncertain, but the writing on the wall seems to suggest that at the very least, the game needs a substantial delay to give Bungie the time it needs to take things back to the drawing board. Whose drawing board? Yeah, which drawing board? Whose drawing board are we talking about here? Is this Paul Tassi's? Let's see what's going on here. Oh my God. Ad blocker. Well, that's okay. We just do a little end run around. We'll just do a little end run around this. Shh, don't tell Paul. Don't tell Paul. There we go. All right, there it is. New Marathon info. Bungie morale, launch worries, and changing plans. I don't want Paul to be out of a job too, because his vibes are going to be low, like very bad vibes. Yeah, they said there are not even hints or jokes about a delay from the September release date. Okay. Some changes to future plans have been made even before the new plagiarism development. Okay, so mainly as a reaction to gameplay footage, now the closed alpha at the start of this month, Bungie pulled the plug on its main Marathon marketing plan. Okay, which was going to have a new trailer in June with stolen artwork. A heavily marketed public beta in August may be changed into a roadmap of public playtests with no action. What does that even mean? A roadmap of public playtests. This would align with Bungie's stated multiple opportunities to play before launch. Well, what's the point of having a launch if you're gonna pre-launch? It's kind of like what they're doing in Epic Universe right now. Actually, my son's going down to Epic Universe this week, and he thought he was going opening week, and they've been it's been open for 2 months now. Everybody's been going down to Epic Universe. What's the point of having an opening? What is the point, right? It's open. Just say it's open. Marathon was originally pitched by higher up good old boy. What does that mean? Bungie leadership. 5 years ago, the developers were telling them what would and wouldn't work, and were often ignored. Many have said previously it needed to have some sort of PvE component. Yeah, it just sounds like a bad idea. They're just gonna let them fall flat in their ass, let them fall flat in their ass. That's what you gotta do. I mean, that's how you get through to them. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about these AAA gaming studios and other companies falling flat on their ass, and how it is going to make more opportunities, I think, for independent creators. Unless the machines come and just get rid of all of us, which is also very possible. I mean, it's make sure if you are in the media space, make sure you have a backup skill set, right? Maybe you can lube the machines or something, but yeah, you don't want to depend on any kind of media at this point, because it's all collapsing, like all of this stuff. Hey, Legend of the Traveling TARDIS, thank you very much. Didn't have to do that. Here's the unexpected. Like, share, and subscribe to Clownfish TV. There you go. Thank you very much for that. Didn't have to do that. Like, share, and subscribe to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Yeah, sometimes you guys are too honest about Doctor Who. I think it gets you into trouble. See, Luigi says, Spotify is like Ticketmaster and Napster. They both rip bands and fans off. Yeah. They're all going to do it, though. That's the thing. Because, look, we had a video earlier today talking about how Toei Animation, the studio that does Dragon Ball and One Piece, how they're going to start using AI to do some of the grunt work, which I agree with. I think if it's, I think if AI is being used in addition to human creators and is being overseen by human creators, I think that's acceptable as long as you're not ripping people off. What is going to happen, though, and it's already happening on some platforms, and it's going to happen, I'm telling you, it's going to happen here too. They're just going to spin up AI generated content, and they're going to cut the creators out of it, because we don't want to pay those pesky royalties. We don't want to pay creators. We don't want to deal with creators. Hell no. People will watch some AI generated slop or whatever, and we're making just as much, if not more money, peddling that stuff. That's what they're going to do. I mean, that's the truth of it. Not liking it does not change the fact that this is what's going to happen, right? Pippi here says, I'm going to the opening day of Epic 2. Yeah, the quote-unquote opening day. Yeah, the soft, very flaccid launch, and it's been open for like 2 months now. Yahoo, I'm on camera. I've been on camera for like 3 years now. People don't realize. Mostly on the gaming channel, but like when I go on other people's shows and stuff, I always go on camera. I mean, I could hide behind the cartoon avatar forever. That's not me. But and there's a funny story behind that. Actually, the reason we did the cartoon avatars at first was because we were literally working with Disney at the same time we're doing Clownfish TV, complaining about Disney because we had some concerns. We had some concerns about the direction of the company, and we had to come up with a fake name, and yeah, I mean, it wasn't hard to find out who we were, right? Anyway, this video sponsored by Orcs Are Assholes. Actually, I can't say that, so it's Orcs Are A-Holes. And hopefully we're going to launch it this week. We got some pins and shirts and hats and some cool stuff with orcs being awful. Just having fun with it because I'm really tired of kinder, gentler orcs. So let's have orcs doing bad things. Well, as bad as we can do, or that we can get away with on the platform. But if you guys want to check it out, go to badorcs.com. I should wear some mousers. Yeah. Badorcs.com. Sign up when we get ready to launch this. I think we're going to be doing some t-shirts and stuff too with this guy. So it should be pretty fun. All right. What else we got going on here? Oh, okay. More Bungie news. They pulled the gameplay after the plagiarism storm, and they said it's reviewing all art. We're really, really sorry, guys. They're going to do right by independent artists who had their work plagiarized. We're really sorry. You got to pay them? Anti-real. I couldn't understand what their name was at first. I'm like, are you a droid? NT1R3? Okay, anti-real. Yeah, so they're pulling it. Joseph Cross, Marathon's art director, claimed Bungie was conducting a thorough review process to remove any art from the game that was inappropriately sourced. Stolen. Just say what it was. Stolen art. Just say we stole it. We saw it online. We liked it. We didn't want to pay for it. We stole it. This is the thing. Everybody complains about AI stealing art. It's the damn humans. It's the humans stealing the artwork. You got to worry about the humans. They stole it long before AI could do it. Cross claimed that Bungie had reached out to Fern Hook to apologize, make sure they do right by her, though no specific details were shared on how it plans to do so. Money. Give her money. Came to our attention that an artist who worked on Marathon in the early stages of pre-production took a number of graphic elements from a graphic designer without permission. Again, they probably fired that person like 2 days ago, right? God. Yeah, so we know the deal there, but they said, yeah, in the last 24 hours, they reached out to Fern Hook. They do not want to get sued and was auditing all their work done by this former Bungie artist. And they're going to remove anything questionable or inappropriately sourced. Hundreds of artists have worked on this project for years, internally and externally, and we share many influences, including, yeah, okay. Surely it was just a coincidence. Actually, if it wasn't for specifics of her artwork, like I think they had like a band name in there. If it wasn't for that, they wouldn't be taken down. It'd be like, surely it's just a coincidence because, you know, we all like the same kinds of games. Our style is a result of all those inspirations. It's worth noting that none of our external partners who have worked on branding or any part of the visual design of the game were designed with the situation. Visual, I don't know, whatever. Lastly, personally, I have a huge amount of respect and admiration for artists. I send my personal apology. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, this person cross-followed the artist on Twitter for a number of years, so it was not a coincidence. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, I agree. Matt Stanford. I refuse to believe it was one person who stole the artwork. I think they did it. They didn't think they would get busted. Humans use AI to steal artwork. Yeah, pretty much. That URL. What bad works? Yeah, badworks.com. I'm gonna use that for something else someday. It's not gonna be like an OnlyFans or anything with the works, though. That'd be weird. So there's that. Let's see what else we got going on here. Trying to play catch up, guys. It's been a very, very busy week, but I appreciate you guys watching. Like I said, I never know when we're gonna have time to do these, so I just kind of schedule them like a couple hours ahead of time, and then I show up late. So that's why we don't live stream very much. Phantom Pulse has this. I was not paying attention. I knew it was out. I was actually going to get it. I guess a lot of people aren't that excited. Is this correct? Doom the Dark Ages fails to achieve even half the peak concurrent players of Dragon Age the Veilguard. Is that right? I thought people actually were looking forward to this one. Did people not like this game for some reason? I actually thought the trailer looked pretty good. So Doom the Dark Ages only managed to obtain a peak concurrent player count of just 30,812 in its first day of release, less than half of what Dragon Age the Veilguard did back at the end of October. What? That's crazy. So yeah, I saw the trailer for this one a couple months ago. I'm like, yeah, it looks pretty good. But I'm like, do people care about Doom now? I don't know. As noted by SteamDB, Doom the Dark Ages only hit a peak concurrent player count of just 30,812 in its first day of release. That's for Doom. That's freaking wild. Let me see here. Matt says they're probably just using SteamDB for the metric, ignoring Game Pass. Yeah, that could be too. It's hard to get a full picture, but I'm like, I can't believe that a brand new Doom game only had like 30,000 people. Again, maybe just on Steam. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, so let's see what it's at now. Can we open this now? 21,000 people playing it now. 29,000 24-hour peak, 31,000 all peak. Yeah. So again, we have other platforms. We have Game Pass. We have. Still, I would have thought Doom would have done better. Really, I mean, it's Doom, right? It's Doom. Okay, J-Run? J-Run, am I pronouncing that correctly? From what I'm hearing, it's not as good as Eternal, and the pricing, it's $70 and released not long after several other games. Yeah, it kind of got buried in there. Like, I knew it was coming out. I actually wasn't even sure when it was coming out, and I think it is coming out. Some other people said in the comments it's coming out at a really bad time because I think a lot of people are looking at AAA gaming space right now. We're going to talk about that, and they're like, yeah, we can't trust anything from a AAA developer at this point. Like, it's just forget about it. $70 for a game is ridiculous. Oh, just wait, AL. Wait for Nintendo. Wait for Grand Theft Auto 6. It's gonna be a lot more expensive than that. Dark Ages having RTX as a requirement is what I see others citing as a big negative. So the hardware requirements are off the chart. So the game was beat by Stellaris, Pal World, Ark Survival Evolved, 7 Days to Die. In fact, it barely beat games like Cyberpunk 2077, which was released in 2020. Yeah, and in 2025, most people can finally play it. Because when that game came out, we had a fairly decent gaming rig. We got it on launch day, and it like cooked the computer. I was like, what the hell is this? I mean, it was cool, but we tried to do gameplay footage of it, and we could not record on the same PC we were playing it on, and that PC was a pretty new PC. Expedition 33 is a flash in the pan. Miracle came to fully say why. Yeah, I don't know. I think this is it too. I think the economy, I think people are forgetting about that. The economy is definitely going to take a toll, I think, on AAA gaming. Because again, the thing with video games, it's not like a movie, right? It's not like you watch it and you're done with it. The video games have replay value. You can play them over, play them again and again, especially if they're online. So people are like, yeah, I don't need anything new. I'm still playing the game I bought 5 years ago on sale. I don't need anything new. In my case, I literally have about 300 or 400 Steam games that I picked up along the way, humble bundles, sales, all this stuff. And I don't have time to play them. So I'm like, seriously, they could stop making new games tomorrow and be like, I'm good probably for the next 10 to 15 years because I got so many games. A lot of them are RPGs. I'm good. And then I'll just go back and play the games I know I like, right? So many ads. Let's see here. So many ads cutting into the stream. I don't see the ads. I'm sorry. No, YouTube. I'm telling you, AL. There's definitely something weird going on with YouTube. They're trying to maximize revenue, and they started making some changes this month to that effect. And some of the ads that they're running on YouTube now are like, everybody's making fun of Rumble. These are like, not to knock Rumble. I like Rumble. I know some people over there, but like these are like Rumble level ads that we're seeing. I keep talking about the fake AI puppies from like some Temu type thing. I'm like, yeah, it's like sea monkeys all over again, right? Monster Hunter World, yeah, beat it 2018. People are going to go back and play their old games. Okay, so furthermore, this is according to John Trent, so I'm not saying this. Furthermore, its peak concurrent players were less than half of BioWare's Dragon Age: The Veilguard in its first day, which was 70,000, would eventually hit an all-time peak of 89,000. BioWare's parent, and that was a huge failure. That was considered, this is a huge failure. BioWare's parent company, EA, eventually revealed that Veilguard missed sales expectations by nearly 50%. This is a Doom game. If it's not doing much better than that on other platforms, I'm like, oh my God. That's so wild, because I actually was going to pick this up. I love Doom. So I love my boomer shooters. Actually, that's the thing too. Like I get more of a hit from games that are homages to older games. Same with comics and animation, stuff like that. Like sometimes I don't play or watch or buy the like official stuff. I'll go buy the game that's inspired by this other game series I like because it's actually better than the real thing at this point. And that happens a lot. See, Rose says, my husband also has a lot of games he has yet to play. I only play Animal Crossing New Horizons. Yeah, we play a lot of Animal Crossing. We played a lot of Animal Crossing. That was our pandemic game. Like we all spent a lot of time on the island. That sounds really bad during the pandemic. Even the 2016 Doom hit a higher peak on its release date. Hit peak concurrent player count of 44,271, and that one nobody talks about. Wow, you're watching an ad right now. I'm sorry if you guys are watching ads. I have no control over that. They just run them in stream now. It's kind of crazy. Maybe I should like turn those off or something. I don't know. Yeah, so there it is. That's kind of wild. I actually expected this to be doing a lot better than it actually was. All right, so we talked about this in a separate video. We'll talk about it again because it's going to lead into the next thing. France's Ubisoft full-year net bookings fall by 20%. It's a shell game. Ubisoft is trying to convince people that they have a path forward. There's no path forward for them. They're saying in 2026 they're going to be profitable. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. They don't have much. Yeah, they have Pax Romana, Prince of Persia, Rainbow Six Mobile, and the Division Resurgence. Does anybody care? And lots of Just Dance. They're cooked. They're done. Ubisoft is over, and they're taking all the stuff they can, and they're going to punt it over to this other company, and then they're going to just be like, "Yeah, guys. We're going to shut Ubisoft down, and then this other company is going to run with the Assassin's Creed and all the other stuff, Rainbow Six or whatever they have." Rayman, yeah. What's up with Rayman? We don't know where Rayman is. Still have my original Wii. Actually, I love the Wii. We still have ours. I have a lot of my old consoles. My favorite current console is actually that damn Atari 7800 Plus my kids got me for Christmas. I'm like, things were so simple back then. You plug the cartridge in the top, you turn it on. Very simple. They're still making new games for it too, which I think is awesome. They're coming out with Tiger Heli. I think next month it's like $30, but brand new Atari games. They're still making Atari games. It's awesome. They're coming from Atari. That's very, very cool. All right. So yeah, Ubisoft is cooked. So where is that leading us? This is from the ashes. From the ashes, gaming industry layoffs give way to rising indie studios. If only somebody could have predicted indie was going to be the path forward for most people, right? This is coming from what? KSN.com? Is that looks like an NBC thing. Next Star. Okay. Several years of layoffs in the gaming industry have been the cause of concern and uncertainty among many game developers. Well, when you're stealing assets and you're charging $80, $90 for a game, some are using it as an opportunity to create games they would never be able to make in a traditional AAA studio. They're bringing up Claire Obscure Expedition 33. The game has been making waves with a near perfect Metacritic user score of 9.7. A film adaptation already in the making? And many putting it out as early contender for 2025's Game of the Year. So this guy worked for Ubisoft and bailed. He said it would never have gotten made there. Since its release in April, the game has broken 3 million in sales. The soundtrack has topped the charts, and the dev team even got a congratulatory message on Instagram from the French president. The head of Larian Studios said in a post on X he thinks that it could reach 10 million in sales this year and has an exceptional chance of winning Game of the Year. I think they made this on a shoestring budget. It was like $50-60 million, which is crazy. It was made by 30 people. So the guy in charge claimed in an interview, is it Brochet? Claimed in an interview that a game like Expedition 33, which he came up with the idea for while bored at Ubisoft, would take over 2 decades to get greenlit at a AAA studio, and he claimed he didn't have that kind of patience. So they're talking about some other games here. I haven't played this one yet. It's not the only game from a small team to stand out in 2025. Currently holds a top spot. Okay. Number 2 spot is held by indie puzzler Blueprints, a game. Blueprints. I get that. A game largely made by one person. I've not played that. Have you guys played that? Hey, Tate. Hey, happy Sunday to you too. The success of Expedition 33 and Blueprint shows that not only is the system not necessary, but might actively be detrimental to the final product. Do you think that system doesn't work when literally they're just burning money at this point. They're just burning money. So Maximilian Dude suggested Sam Fall's smaller size allowed the studio freedom to do whatever they wanted. Well, that's what these companies were. They all started out small. id Software was small. Bethesda was relatively small. And then they blew up into these like huge companies and 200, 300, 400, 500 people working on the game. And it takes 10 years to get the game out. And then when the game comes out, it fails miserably. It's a realization that this industry and how many people are involved and how many moving parts are severely getting in the way of creativity. Yes, they're able to execute their vision with very little flack and get what they want to get without having to worry about shareholders and release dates and all that kind of stuff. Industry professionals agree the successes are indicative of a larger change coming in the landscape. This is a good thing, because what's going to happen, I just think in general, and it's not just video games, but also, you know, comic books and animation and everything else, is that we're going to go back to creators actually having kind of that singular vision, and we don't have it anymore. Everything's done by committee now. And, you know, a lot of the art that has withstood the test of time, even, you know, in modern times, George Lucas was the visionary for Star Wars, J.K. Rowling, visionary for Harry Potter, you know, Gene Roddenberry, Star Trek, you know, all these things we have, J.R.R. Tolkien, you know, Middle Earth, all these things that we take for granted as being like the, you know, the pillars of nerddom or whatever. It usually was like one or two people, you know, that did. They had help, but it was the vision of like one or two people. Now we're like, yeah, let's have a committee and we're all going to get together, and then we got to get our HR people involved in this. And we got to hire the right kind of people. It's like, no, none of this would have happened 30, 40 years ago. It wouldn't have. Let's see here. Oh, I'm missing some guys. I don't mean to miss you guys. All right. Hey, Jin's in the chat. Hey, Jin. One more game for your never gets played list. Rising Zan Samurai Gunman PS1 gunslinger with katana fights, ninjas in the Wild West, lots of fun. I have actually heard of that one. I need to play that. We have a pile of PS1 games. We literally have like like pretty much every retro game ever made, like piles of games and arcade machines. We actually have an arcade. We actually own and operate an arcade. That's like a thing that we do. That's one of our businesses. Yeah, so it's more, it's like water everywhere, but not a drop to drink. Like, we have all these games and I don't have time to play them, which is kind of depressing. I get to watch other people play them. That's always fun. Grizzly Nightmare 80. Thank you very much. I didn't have to do that. I could see refurbishing carts for retro systems increasing in the future. You can buy the tools, replacement parts online. I love my Retron. Yeah, I think so. I know that there's a guy who was refurbishing classic machines during the pandemic, and he was doing very, very well. Like, all these Gen Z kids were sending in these old, you know, Super Nintendos and N64s and getting them refurbed. And I mean, it's so much easier, isn't it? Like, I keep saying that PCs are going to replace consoles, and I think that's true in the new generations. But like, there is something to be said for the simplicity of a plug and play console. But we don't have that anymore. None of these consoles are plug and play anymore. It's like, you got to subscribe to this and you got to do that. And Nintendo, you got to have your game key card thing or whatever and check your game out. Very stupid stuff. All right, let's see what else we got here. Okay. I said, yeah, when you have mass layoffs and cuts across the game industry, these are very highly creative people. Now, some of them are. Breakout indie hits come alongside another round of layoffs at major AAA gaming studios. Well, look, gamers are rejecting this stuff. There are layoffs at the indie studios too, but gamers are just rejecting the stuff that's coming out from AAA gaming studios. And it's not quite what they're trying to make it out. They're like, well, people are just tired of very expensive games. Like, no, they're also tired of the wokeness. They're also tired of the politics. They're tired of the people working on these games attacking gamers. You know, there's so many issues. So many issues. AL says, I said I can refurb my burnt 3DS for $375, but I could just buy a new one for that. Yeah, you could. We had our Wii shit the bed, I guess. Can I say that? Or we shit the bed about 2 years after we got it, and we sent back to Nintendo, and this is a brand new one. And they loaded up with all of our virtual console games and everything that we had on it. So that was pretty cool. I miss Final Fantasy Crystal Defenders. That game was a lot of fun. I wish they would do a new version of that. But said since 2022, it's estimated over 35,000 jobs have been cut in the game development industry. From the ashes of these layoffs, you're going to see more creative games. Yeah, because what's going to happen, it's just like everything else. What is going to happen is that the people who are doers, the people who actually have the ability to make stuff, they're going to go out and make stuff. People who like to make stuff, they're going to find a way to make stuff, right? And everybody else that's just there to collect a paycheck, you're screwed. Like, you know, put the fries in the bag, right? This is like, what are you going to do? Go do OnlyFans? Well, that's okay. The AI can do that now too. So they don't need you for that. Yeah, 3DS costs more than the Switch. I was shocked at some of the retro game prices. Last time I went to the retro game store, I bought a couple of cartridges and stuff, and I was asking about Paul Rappa the Rapper. I wanted to get a hard copy of that. It's one of the PlayStation games we don't have. I sold it years ago. I had a ton of JRPGs and sold all that stuff. I had a Mega Man Legends 2. I had Tron Bon, and they were like pristine condition. I had several JRPGs that I bought. I didn't have time to play because even back then I was busy. I was working, and so they were shrink wrapped. So some of these games we were selling for, my copy of Final Fantasy VII, if I remember correctly, sold for about $200 because it was absolutely pristine. I basically played through it, switched the discs out like once as I beat the game, and then I put it in the case, put it on my shelf, and that was it. And it was like the first run. It wasn't the greatest hits. It was like the original version, and it sold for like $200. I had Lunar. I had God. I had so many games. I had so many games. A lot of money. We sold them for a lot of money, but I was surprised. Paul Rappa was always fairly common, and we went to the vintage game store, and I swear to God, they didn't have it, but I was pricing it, and it was like a couple $100. I'm like, are you freaking for Paul Rappa the Rapper? That game was like $15 back in the day. What are you talking about? Suikoden 1 and 2. Yeah, I had both of those. They weren't shrink wrapped. I think I want to say the second one I think I got from EB, but I had a ton of those games. And you could get them cheap too. You could get them really cheap at EB because nobody was really playing RPGs back then. So like they would just kind of sit there. I got Tron Bon. I know I got Tron Bon for, I think it was new. I got for like $10. Like nobody wanted Tron Bon, which is damn shame because I am a huge fan of Tron Bon, and I totally think that Despicable Me, the Minions, ripped off of the Serve bots, but that's just me. James says, yeah, Lunar Silver Star Story. Yeah, I had also actually Geeky got those for me when we first started dating. We had she got me both of Lunar games, and yeah, I had the amulet with Eternal Blue, and yeah, they were cool. They were really nice. Sonic says, my classmates from high school got me into JRPGs. That's awesome. My first JRPG was Phantasy Star 2, which is depressing and hard, but it was awesome, but it was so hard. And I was pretty young, but I mowed a lot of lawns for that game. You want to talk about $70 games? Phantasy Star 2 cost $70 in 1990. It was expensive. It was a very expensive game. All right. So this I don't believe for a minute. 2025 gaming layoffs continue, but 79% of developers feel positive about AI's impact. Bullshit. They're all freaking out. They're all freaking out about losing their jobs. No, actually what's going on, the studios think it's great. This is an AI image too. This is probably an AI article with an AI image talking about how great AI is. So, but yeah, now here's the thing. We talked about this last time. Like all the developers are already using it. They're already using it. It's here. They're using it. It doesn't matter what the grunts think. And eventually, I think we're going to get down to a place where you're going to have more Expedition 33s. You're going to have like, a couple dozen people working on the game with the output of 500 people. It's so in that regard, it's going to be pretty awesome, I think. All right. Let's see what else is here. What are they saying here? Despite the gaming industry suffering massive layoffs, the trend is continuing into 2025. Yeah, those two things are probably interrelated. Many game developers view AI as a positive force, even as its rise coincides with widespread job cuts. Well, yeah, better it gets, the fewer people you need. Gamers remain skeptical. Well, I mean, if you look at Darth Vader in Fortnite, they're making him do some crazy stuff. Yeah. So, I mean, it's going to continue, guys. Let's see what else we got here. There's a lot of layoffs. You got any good news? No. I don't have any good news. We got, let's see. Warner Brothers surprise dropped Mortal Kombat 1 Definitive Edition like 2 days ago. I forgot Mortal Kombat 1 existed. And this is unbounding in the comics. So they had a 48% gaming revenue loss. Surprise everybody, by Mortal Kombat 1 again. That's what I think is driving this decision, because Mortal Kombat 1 was ass. I did not like Mortal Kombat 1. I think I played it twice. Here we go. Might as well have said, hello, fellow humans. We're going to talk about the glorious revolution of AI. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. But yeah, so if you guys haven't played Mortal Kombat 1 and you want, is Sector a chick now? Yeah, probably. Oh, and Peacemaker's in it because Mortal Kombat now for Warner Brothers has basically become a really gory Smash Brothers. It's like every damn Warner Brothers character they can shoehorn into this game. Wait, what the hell? Floyd? Who is Floyd? The secret boss of Mortal Kombat 1. A pink ninja named Floyd. Am I missing something here? Does this mean something? It's like a rainbow going on here. Are we talking Pink Floyd? Oh, Pink Floyd. Pink Floyd. Oh, for God's sake. I thought it was George Floyd too. I did. I thought it was, wait a minute. What are you doing? What are you doing? No. Pink Floyd. Oh my God. Floyd. Okay. So yeah, I can't believe I missed that. Man, it is definitely a Sunday night, because normally I would have gotten it. Pink Floyd's one of my favorite bands of all time, but I never in a million years would have thought they would have referenced Pink Floyd in a freaking Mortal Kombat, subpar Mortal Kombat game. And that needs to be another ninja, subpar. It's just a really, really bad ninja. So you have to jump through a bunch of hoops to unlock them. Taste the rainbow. Oh boy. I thought it was Pink Floyd. Yeah, it is Pink Floyd. Man, I am really... Say his name. Pink Floyd. Purple Rain. Do they have Purple Rain? That'd be pretty cool. I don't like Mortal Kombat 1. I really didn't like it. I thought it was lame. It came out at the same time as Street Fighter 6. I played the hell out of Street Fighter 6, but I did not play. I played Mortal Kombat 1, like I said, maybe a total of half an hour, 45 minutes, maybe. I'm like, All right, what's this? Hey, Killer Instinct Gold. That's pretty good. that's out on the Switch expansion pack if you guys want to play that. So basically, all the N64 games that are worth it are going to be on the Switch expansion pack now. What else we got here? Nintendo is not planning to use game key cards for Switch 2 games, probably because of the backlash. Rain is purple. Okay, I got you. I wasn't thinking it was going to be Pink Floyd. Why would they? Okay. Nintendo not planning to use game key cards for Switch 2 games. Nintendo were asked the simple question as to whether they plan to distribute some of their games as game key cards. Thankfully, the Kyoto-based company said in a straightforward statement they have no plans to use them for first-party games on the Switch 2. Game key cards have naturally received their fair share of backlash from gamers, as it's good to hear they're safe on the forefront for first-party games. Yeah, I think it's a dumb idea. Like, yeah, you bought this game, but you didn't really buy this game. It's just a physical representation of the game you still have to download. That's kind of weird. Since when has Kneon had a face cam? I have for about 3 or 4 years now. Just you guys weren't paying attention. I actually don't stream very much on this channel. We stream over on the gaming channel. But yeah, no plans. No current plans. We don't have a plan. Yeah, so there we go. They're not going to do it, apparently, for now. They're saying. This is a bummer, but it might be a godsend. Square has officially denied overseas reports that Yuji Horii said they're working on a Chrono Trigger remake. It's a mistranslation. It's a mistranslation regarding a Chrono Trigger remake. He never made any such statement. Honestly, it's probably a good thing, because I don't know what modern day Square would do with Chrono Trigger. It's pretty much a perfect game. I don't know. I know that they had a fan 3D game I thought was actually pretty cool. Man, what was that? Probably like 15 years ago, and they shut it down hard. Like they were doing like a whole 3D remake of Chrono. But he will say, think of it. Wait, what is this? But he will think of it after the misunderstanding translation. No, I think I read something on this. He's thinking about it, but he did not say they're already making it. Well, it took him how many damn years to make Final Fantasy VII again? So they get desperate enough. I mean, if Square gets desperate enough, they'll be like, okay, what well can we go back to yet? Okay, let's go back to Chrono. The only one anybody cares about is the first one. So let's go back. Let's redo that. I love Chrono Trigger port to Switch. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I don't think they have it on Switch. That's kind of weird. Chrono Trigger was great. Yeah, it was. It was a near perfect game. It was. Yeah, don't mess with it. Super Mario RPG remake was made by Art Piazza and is close to the Super Famicom original. Yeah, it's pretty okay. It's pretty okay. Am I allowed to say that? I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm not a huge Super Mario RPG fan. I'm gonna get all kinds of crap for that, but I thought it was kind of short and man. After I played, I mean, it was kind of cool, the graphics back in the day, but like after I played so many other JRPGs at that point, I was just kind of like, it's all right. It's okay. I mean, it's like, it's not my favorite thing ever. I mean, I like it all right. It's fun, but it was kind of like, to me, it was kind of like baby's first JRPG. And, I mean, it was okay. It was okay. All right. What's this here? This is Amazon. Let's talk about technology here. Where are we? We're about 45 minutes into it. Let's see here. They find a way to ruin it. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Love you, Clownfish. Well, we love you too. Okay. Thank you very much for watching. All right. Let's see. Amazon quietly develops creepy new technology. They're working on something that looks a lot like a futuristic movie. Wait, what are they doing here? Retailers are deploying cameras and AI to combat theft and make the checkout process non-existent. So it's becoming less than common to see self-driving cars. A few decades ago, all these. Okay, we're willing to accept the latest, greatest gadget. Okay, Amazon's. What are they doing? Artificial. What is this article? Okay. So what are they doing? What are they doing? Get to the point. This is written by AI too. Like, this is the street. This is an actual news publication. And it's like, here's all the things that have happened so far. We're living in the future, man. And then like 8 paragraphs into it. Amazon works on new tech. Okay. Amazon has over 100 giant fulfillment centers across the U.S. There's a lot of room for improvement. The latest technology is a warehouse assistant called Vulcan. Vulcan is a robot that contains tactile and visual sensors which allow it to perceive and categorize different items and pack them accordingly. So, robot slaves. Is that what we have? Is that what we're doing? It saves time and manual labor required from human workers, and it's far more efficient. Also, it can break your kneecaps if your credit card doesn't work. Vulcan robots are able to pull 20-hour shifts each day and can manage 3/4 of Amazon's warehouse inventory. So, Amazon's notorious for overworking their warehouse workers. So back to the beginning of the video where I talked about, you just take those pesky humans out of the equation. Here it is. It's like, oh, hey there, warehouse grunt. You're going to complain about your work-life balance or, having to use the bathroom or, oh, that's okay. Vulcan here can work a 20-hour shift each day and can manage 3/4 of their inventory. So you're gone. Robots. Robots have a sense of touch per Amazon. Oh, they'll be used for something else at some point. The tech giant maintains they're intended to work alongside humans and enhance their jobs rather than replace them. The Vulcan robots are already hard at work in Washington and Germany. As it learns and improves, Amazon hopes to roll the robots out. Why would they be in Washington, in Spokane, Washington? Oh yeah, because there's probably a bunch of unionized workers there or something we want to replace. Oh boy. Robust delirium. I love how we're getting humans out of the workplace before figuring out what humans are supposed to do to make a living outside the workplace. That is the unfortunate side effect of all of this. I mean, it sounds good on paper. We're going to make your job easier. We're going to make things more efficient. That's great. So if we only need half as many people in the workforce, what do we do with everybody? It's not gonna be like Star Trek, where we're all just kind of kicking around and, you know, flying around on spaceships and stuff. I don't know. And then you know what happens when people get too much free time too. See also the pandemic. Everybody loses their shit. Like, I think we're designed to have something to do every day. Like, we have to have a list of tasks, and we have to have a reason to get up in the morning. And if you take that away from people, they're going to find something else to do. It's probably not going to be very productive. I'm just saying. Matt says, didn't they already establish that Amazon employee list grocery stores are massive liability? Yeah, I think so. Late stage capitalism. But hey, let's have more kids, right? Let's have more kids. Valve from Washington is one of the most bloated states in the U.S. Trying to get an AI to figure that out too. I got to see my first live stream of yours, and it's near the tail. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you're near the tail end of me. That's not a good place to be. Anyway, no, we usually run about an hour. So yeah, a little bit of time, about 15 more minutes. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. This I thought was pretty interesting. Apparently, people are still booting up old computers. This is what I'm going to do. I swear to God, I am not upgrading to Windows 11 ever. I hate it. I hate it so much. It's awful. I actually, at this point, I'm thinking I'm going to jump ship for Linux on several of our desktops. I'm not going to fire up Windows 11. I hate it. BBC. Okay. So still booting after all these years, the people stuck using ancient Windows computers. All right. As technology marches on, some people get trapped using decades-old software and devices. Here's a look inside the strange, stubborn world of obsolete window machines. Okay. Actually, the one software company I worked for, we were government adjacent, and we were still running, I think we had a couple of DOS boxes in the basement and an Amiga for some reason in like 2008. It's like, and we weren't allowed to touch them. We weren't allowed to do it because we didn't know what would happen. But yeah, so a lot. I mean, I believe for 100%, they were talking, you know, when they were talking about Doge and all that, they were talking about how some of these computers were really, really old, and I can completely believe that because, yeah, I can believe it. King Az says a couple places I worked at are still using images of 95 and Windows 7. Yeah. Windows 7 was reliable. It really was. Trapped, i.e. a company was unwilling to trust a barely vetted system. My retail job until 23. The tills were on XP. Yeah. Well, look at what happened with the airlines, right? They had that patch or whatever that took down the airlines. Was it last year? So it says 50th anniversary of Microsoft. I remember Microsoft was new. That's how old I am. The company may not have the cultural cachet it did when the hospital lift was installed, but after a couple of decades playing catch-up, Microsoft is back on top. The tech giant has been the first or second most valuable business on earth for the better part of 5 years. What? Today, Microsoft's betting on AI. This is why I'm never upgrading to Windows 11, because it's like all the computers are going to be loaded with bloat, and it's going to carry out the next generation of computing. They're talking about the ghosts of Windows past. They're an ever-present feature of daily life. Okay. In a way, Windows is the ultimate infrastructure. It's why Bill Gates is so rich. Yeah, pretty much. Our systems are built into everything. And the fact that we have all these ancient examples around us is the story of the company's overall success. That's what's kind of amazing about Microsoft. For a long time, Windows was just how you got things done. Even if you're a diehard Apple user, you're probably interacting with Windows systems. Yeah, that's what's annoying is like when Apple's like, yeah, you got to switch to Windows to do this task on. I remember that. I used to be like diehard Apple user. I've got, my God, I probably got 5 or 6 iMacs or Power Macs in the garage from when I was doing graphic design 20 years ago or whatever it was. And I still got the machines out there, but it was so annoying because it was like you would have to switch over to Windows to get certain things done because they just didn't have a Mac equivalent. It was awful. Jin says, everything I draw is done in Photoshop Element 7 on Windows 7 laptop. I keep offline. Yeah, that's actually the best way to do it. I have a Wacom Companion. It's a portable. Everything's built, but it's still running Windows. I want to say Windows 10. I think I'm running Windows 10 on that one, but I haven't really updated it too much. I basically, it's loaded with Clip Studio, and that's it. I don't really take it online very much unless I absolutely have to, because I'm afraid to upgrade it. But they said, yeah, they officially ended support for Windows XP in 2014. Many ATMs still rely on these primordial. Oh, that's good to know. These primordial systems, thanks to their reliability, stability, and integration with the banking infrastructure. So let me ask you this: why? Okay, so if the banks won't even upgrade Windows, why are we as consumers being forced to upgrade Windows? If the banks don't even trust it, why do we have to upgrade? You know, I Mega Arts. I still have one PC with Windows 7. It's very reliable. Yeah, Windows 7 was solid. Yeah, the banks have XP on them, for God's sake. They said there are plenty of other surprising applications of old Microsoft products hidden in everyday life. In 2024, Windows was at the center of a controversy across the German internet. So the railway service in Germany said they're recruiting, let's see, an IT systems administrator who would maintain the driver's cab display system on high-speed and regional trains. Okay. The problem was the necessary qualifications. Applicants were expected to have expertise with Windows 3.11 and MS-DOS. Systems released 32 and 44 years ago. You're not going to get some Gen Z kid to come in. Like, do you have experience? Can you imagine going to a job interview, being like fresh out of college, and you're expecting all these ridiculous qualifications? They're like, hey, how well do you know MS-DOS? Do you know DOS? Yeah. Okay. Oh my God. Can you fire up an Apple IIe while you're at it? In certain parts of Germany, commuting depends on operating systems that are older than many passengers. If it works, right? If it works, like the only reason I swear to God, the only reason they upgrade these operating systems is because Microsoft needs more money. Because once everybody has Windows XP or whatever, you got to have an upgrade so you can keep the revenue rolling in. And Windows 11, I personally think, is a very predatory operating system. I think it's designed to juice you. Hubby knows DOS. I know DOS. It's been a while, but yeah, I mean, like I said, the company I worked for, it was government adjacent, and some of our boxes were still running off of DOS. And they're like, yeah, we can't really upgrade these. We don't want to upgrade these, and they have to be kept online all the time, or very bad things will happen. It was kind of like the ghost containment unit. Like, just, you don't turn it off ever. The update and fix shit that's not broken because consumerism. Yeah, it's like I was trying to explain to my kids. Like, back in the day, you'd buy an appliance, you'd buy a car, it lasted forever. It was designed to last forever. We have the capability of making stuff that's good, that lasts for decades. But where's the profit in that? So everything has become a consumable. Because if you buy one refrigerator and you pass that refrigerator down to your kids and your grandkids, you know, but if you make a refrigerator that's meant to be replaced every 5 to 10 years, then you've got this recurring revenue stream. Basically, we're subscribing to our appliances now. We're subscribing to our cars. My one neighbor was surprised when we got a newer car. I told her how long we had our other car, and it was like 12 years, something like that. And she was like, oh my gosh, that's ridiculous. I'm like, hell, my grandfather had a car for like 25 years. You know, he kept it on the road. It's like everybody throws everything away now. It's insane. LCD watches last longer. Yeah. Planned obsolescence. It's a thing. I think it should be illegal. That's one thing I think it should be illegal, or at least make the consumer aware of it. Like, yeah, this thing has a half-life of like 5 years. That's it. Or you could go track down an old Maytag fridge from the 1950s, like a pink fridge or something, and it's probably still running just fine. Because, we actually took pride in, and that was the thing back in the day, American workers especially, we took pride in making our stuff good, but there's no profit in making things good. Isn't that kind of depressing? The more I think about that, the older I get, the more I'm like, there's no profit in making things good. You have to make them good enough to part people from their money, but you make them too good and you set those expectations really high. You make them too good and they're not going to ever buy anything else, and I think that's what's going on in video games right now. I think they made the old games too good, so you don't need to buy the new games because they cost too much and they suck. So just go back and play the old games, right? Wow. Gabriel says, our Samsung fridge started breaking down almost as soon as we got it. It was Samsung. Yeah, it was Samsung. We actually had the guy from Lowe's tell us never to buy Samsung. Can I say that? Or are they going to like sue us or something? We bought a Samsung dishwasher and it died within a month or two. And then we got a Maytag. And the Maytag's been fine. But even those Maytags aren't like Maytags used to be, where they were like, they would last forever. It sucks. It really sucks. That's the way things are. So let's see here. They have two of the biggest printers you've ever seen in San Diego. They're hooked up to servers running Windows 2000. Yeah. An operating system name for the year was released. We call them boat anchors. The printers are light jets, gigantic machines that use light rather than ink to print on large format photographic paper. Watts says result is an image of unparalleled quality. That's it. A lot of this equipment runs on older operating systems, and you need people that know how to maintain that stuff, right? Wow. Let's see. This is it's common predicament in specialized hardware. Scott Carlson, a woodworker in Los Angeles, is steeped in the world of Microsoft thanks to CNC machines. Yeah, this happened to me too. I worked for a manufacturer for a while. I was actually a marketing guy for a manufacturer for a number of years, and we did parts and CNC and all that. And they were old machines. We had an IT guy. He was a younger guy, but he was working on like ass old machines. Our workhorse machine runs on Windows XP because it's older. That thing's a tank. But the same can't be said for the operating system. We actually had to send the computer back to get completely rebuilt a few years ago because XP was getting more and more errors. It's practically a brick. Wow. Yeah, I would never. I'm not upgrading. There's no way in hell. There's no way in hell. Let's see what else we got here. I think I had some UFO news. I was going to throw some UFO news into it too. Alexandria ranks third on a list of UFO sightings in Virginia. Okay, so apparently if you go to Alexandria, Virginia, has the third most UFO sightings in all of Virginia. So there you go, guys, if you want to see UFOs. This I thought was kind of interesting, though. Was this UFO videos collected by the Department of Defense's Immaculate Constellation whistleblower? Okay, so this was like a week ago. This is Ross Coulthard, I think. For the first time, a former Border Patrol whistleblower comes forward to share never-before-seen UFO videos shot on military cameras. Hunting UFO. Okay, so you have to watch your special, Hunting UFOs, the Desert Sky Mystery. I think we're going to see a lot more people coming out with a lot of stuff. Yeah, this is crazy. What is this? Wait. He has a tanker roll in his hat, tinfoil hat, maybe. Government employees with nothing else to do. Maybe. I kind of wonder, like, do people just kind of sit around if they're just, their post or whatever, and like, yeah, I don't know what that is. It's got to be a UFO. Yeah, we're going to see a lot of people coming out, I think, with UFO stuff here in the next couple of years, but I think a lot of it's going to get memory hold. I mean, it's like we had all those drones. Remember the drones and all the stuff from Canada? Whatever happened to that? Like, we don't talk about it at all now. It's very weird. Like, it happened and it was like huge news, and that's all everybody was talking about, and now we don't talk about it at all. I mean, we really are stupid people. Like, just whatever the news, like, it's kind of like a cat with a laser pointer. Like, the news is like, oh, this is what you want to be upset about this week. Yep. That's not useful anymore. Okay, over here, guys. Yep, you're getting. Yep, there you go. And that's what seems to happen. Like, they literally all at once will all stop talking about it. Yes, society does have short-term memory. Somebody changed something. Yeah, I don't know. Did we change a program or something? Because yeah, it was very strange. Because like nobody's talking about the drones. Remember the New Jersey drones? We had all that stuff going on, and then we had all that stuff coming down from Canada, and now nobody's talking about it. Isn't it weird? Isn't it weird? UFO stuff is fun until someone gets pro. Well, some people might think that's a good time. I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm going to wrap it up here pretty soon, guys. Well, thanks for stopping in, Kay. Have fun a lot. Thanks again, Kneon. Well, thank you for watching. Yeah, we usually run about an hour, so I'm going to wrap this one up, guys. Had a lot of news. It was like all over the place. So I'm thinking probably a couple more this week. We'll have to set a schedule so you guys know when we're actually going to do it. Geeky will be on. I don't know if she's going to be on the Derez episodes, but she will be coming on. We're going to do regular Clownfish TV, which means probably screaming about Disney and stuff. Oh, no, I know. I forgot to mention this. Can't believe I forgot. This is a big one. I glossed right over it because I was looking for positive news like UFOs. Yeah, just real quick, guys. Diamond Select Toys is shutting down. We have a video coming later tonight talking about Diamond collapsing, but apparently they're shutting the toy end of Diamond down completely, which is kind of crazy. So we'll talk more about Diamond in a video coming up later. But yeah, it's insane. Like everything is just like imploding all at once. And I think the future is pretty exciting because we're going to have a definitely a clear palette, I guess, a palette cleanse, like all the stuff that's been big for the last decade or so is just like it's all disappearing. Yeah, RP Diamond, that is crazy. So yeah, watch the video we have coming later tonight talking about the comic book industry and Diamond, and it's not gonna be good news for shops. I mean, it really isn't. But there we go. All right, now I'm gonna wrap it up. Guys. Please subscribe. More pop culture news, views, and rants. Check it out. Check out badworks.com. Go to badworks.com. Hoping to launch this week. It's another pin campaign. And check out news.clownfishtv.com. We'll talk later.